Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, when an unstoppable addiction meets an immovable web filter, or a cautionary tale on AD privileges. I have no clever title for this post. My brain just broke. On call? It's what? Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. When an unstoppable addiction meets an immovable web filter, or a cautionary tale on AD privileges. Greetings and welcome back to another tale of tech failure support. Sit back, relax, pick up some questionable life insurance from Bub's concession stand, Google it, and please do the needful. To set the background, $me works as an L2 tech, which is to say the end of the line. My team gets tickets for $org that were not able to be resolved by the help desk. If we aren't able to resolve the issue, then we will generally engage the engineers at the relevant vendor. That, or we tell the user they are out of luck. We handle everything from diagnostics to AD administrative tasks. The way our system works is that tickets get assigned to our queue, and we have dispatchers who assign tickets to individual technicians on our team. Let's set the stage. Me, the protagonist of this story, runs on coffee and lowbrow brand beer. He also has a cape that flutters in the breeze of a Hero Wind branded fan. User Fateful Ticket Generator. The source of the story. L1 Level 1 Help Desk. $TM Technical Manger, our resident IT doctor house who makes final decisions on process. My office is right next to the area the L1 phone jockeys are in, and I'm the unofficial L2 point of contact for the help desk. If they need help with a ticket and it's quicker for them to ask me as opposed to just following the escalation process, I will generally jump in and help out with their callers. Before I begin, I should explain that we basically have two types of AD accounts. The first kind is the standard user account that most employees have. They get a generic set of access to various applications, and any additional access they need requires them to submit a request to be added to a security group in AD. The second type is a special kind of account that has certain privileges that are usually reserved for special use cases. These accounts have unrestricted web access, and that's where this story begins. L1 gets a call from a user. L1, thank you for calling company help desk. How may I assist you? Goes through the usual opening questions, NTID, etc. User, I need unrestricted web access. I am completely unable to do my work. L1, do you have a special account? User, I don't know what that is, I just need unrestricted web access. Can you give it to me or not? L1, unfortunately, I cannot directly. You will need to go to link and submit an access request. It will need to be approved by your manager. User, this is ridiculous, just give me the access I asked for. Are you people stupid or something? Get me someone who knows what they're doing. I don't have time for this. L1, please hold. The L1 agent comes over to my office. I should note here that while I technically do have the access and ability to create these AD accounts and or assign the necessary permissions, it is not the norm for me to do so unless it's for diagnostic purposes. We have a separate team that handles these requests. I check with $TM who says, $TM, find out what websites they specifically need access to. We can add temporary access to those sites if need be until the request goes through. I inform L1 of this. They come back and say user won't tell them due to data sensitivity, yada yada. $TM, me, go check their web filter logs and see what websites are so important that they can't tell us what they are. I dutifully go check their web filter logs and oh boy, nothing prepared me for what I was about to see. Endless amounts of requests to some very shady NSFW websites being blocked by our web filter. I let $TM know. $TM, that's what I figured. Go ahead and have $L1 submit a ticket for the user. Send those logs to their manager to let them know about all the important websites $user needs access to. $me okay, you're the boss, I hope this doesn't go sideways. I took over the call and advised $user that we understand how important this issue is. I let him know that we could forego the usual process, and I'd pull the site list from the web filter and email his supervisor personally so we could get a temporary exemption until the process went through. $user. $me, is there anything else we can help you with? $user, no. $me, fantastic. Have a great day. I grabbed the logs and sent an email over to user's supervisor CCING$TM with an email along the lines of $user says they are currently unable to do their work due to web filter restrictions. We can provide temporary access until they have the special account, we just need your approval. Here is the list of websites they need to access. Stay tuned for part 2. Part 2 is up, and you can read it here. I have no clever title for this post. My brain just broke. This is a tale of network admins, sysadmin, developers, and InfoSec brothers, who all tried to flex for a C-suite and ended up falling on their asses. No need to epic tales today. No embellishments. No dramatic pauses. Today I am simply going to retell the tale of how my brain got flipped right upside down. Bright and early at 8 a.m. a request comes in to have the paper replaced in an MFP. Now why the person didn't just replace it themselves? That is beneath them. Well, anywho, someone else in the office replaced the paper with one from the counter. Problem solved, so I closed the ticket. 30 minutes ago a ticket was directly assigned to me, and I was told to resolve the issue. At 8:32 a.m. a C-suite sent out an email to the ITIL email group that her printer was suddenly printing strange characters. Every single paper she printed had the same strange characters. At 8:42 notes were left in the ticket by the VP over IT, that he redid the printer drivers and reinstalled Citrix onto her machine. It still happened. At 9:03 a.m. the C-suite responded back that several people in the office were reporting the same issue. Strange characters on the print job. At 9:12 the desk side team reported that they replaced the laptop unit for the C-suite person as a test, and it failed. At 9:35 the system admin reported that he had gone in and verified that there was nothing malicious in the network connection. At 10 a.m. the ticket was forwarded to purchasing to have the printer replaced. A purchase order was prepared and sent off for authorization to the CIO. He took one look at it and decided to work on the printer himself. At 11:32 a.m. the ticket was forwarded to the Citrix engineers team to see what was wrong with the Citrix server. Everyone was printing the same strange characters, and it must be an issue with the Citrix environment. At 12:05 a note was left by a Citrix engineer who reported that the Citrix environment is not causing it. They printed to another printer in the building, and it did not print the special characters they are seeing. He forwarded it back to purchasing. At 12:45 it was forwarded to CIO, who instantly forwarded it onto the support team. It was auto-assigned to me by my boss, who told me to just get it fixed. No reason to replace a greater than $1,000 printer over something like this. I email one of the people and ask them to email me back a picture of what the special characters look like. At 1:09 p.m. an audible "oh, my God!" can be heard from my desk. I get up and walk into the printer room and see the head of purchasing and the CIO both discussing the printer. It's an expensive printer, and they do not want to replace it if they do not have to. One of the network admins is in there talking with the sysadmin, who looks at me and tries to shoo me away. "We got it." "Clearly you don't." Escaped my mouth before I realized I said it out loud. I suppressed the panic attack as everyone is looking at me now. I walk over to the printer and open tray 1. I pull out the paper that has the festive border of streamers, ribbons, fireworks, and hot dogs around the edges. This is the leftover party paper from the 4th of July office bash. I said as I laid the paper on the counter. I pulled a fresh ream of paper from the stack on the right of the printer and loaded it in. Everyone in the room just quietly walked out without a word and went back to their desks/offices. I closed the ticket with the notes. Someone replaced the normal paper with the leftover party paper from the 4th of July bash. Closing. On call? A quick one for you while my game loads. Damn mods taking ages. Gone home early for my weekend off, about half a bottle of whiskey down, and my personal mobile goes mental. Putting my boss's ringtone as number of the beast was a pretty good idea, so I declined the call as I'm not scheduled for on-call. It goes again. Okay, it's a problem. Boss is cool and knows to only call in an emergency that he and the on-call can't handle by themselves. So I answer and I hear Boss say sorry before Head Honcho, hereby $HH, rips the phone from him and starts yelling in my ear about not taking the on-call phone with me and not answering my personal phone when work calls. $Me, I'm not scheduled for this weekend. It's supposed to be coworker. $HH, I changed the schedule as I sent coworker out on assignment. Coworker is his son and assignment probably means pub. $Me, I was not informed. What time did this happen? $HH, it was time after I left. $Me, I was gone by that point. I wasn't needed, so Boss approved it as it was my weekend off. Boss, I tried to tell H. $HH, not good enough. You are on call. Get your arse into work and collect the on-call phone. Me, sorry Boss. Nope. I hang up, turn my mobile off and turn work filter on my landline on. Beautiful thing, I whipped up with Arduino and laid back to enjoy my weekend. It's, what? Hello. About 13-ish years ago, I was an oil and gas programmer who specialized in building plant and well systems. Since we didn't have a support department, any issues would come directly back to me to deal with. I had my fair share of PEBCAC calls, but my absolute favorites were ones that had nothing to do with the end users. This is one such story. One day I received a call from a client who wasn't getting any gas to their plant. I checked our system and everything was reporting as fine. The well was pumping and there were no blockages, but nothing was coming down the pipeline. I spent hours going over the code to see what was going on, but nothing made sense. Every ping I sent came back fine. It should have been working. Finally, I saw no choice but to send a tech out to the site and see what was going on. We were lucky that we not only had a tech in the area, but they also had a helicopter ready. The well site was in a far northern corner of Canada, only accessible by helicopter during the warm months or by an ice road during the winter. As the tech neared the site, he called me on his satellite phone. I'm almost to the site, but everything looks fine. Oh. The tech suddenly went quiet and I thought I had lost him, until he spoke again. It's on fire. I asked him to repeat himself, since I couldn't have heard that right. Apparently there was a storm a few days prior and lightning had hit the site. Miraculously, the reporting computer, called an RTU, hadn't been fried, but the lightning strike had punctured part of the above-ground portion of the pipeline and set it alight. Because the RTU saw nothing wrong, it continued to pump the gas directly into the flame, continuously feeding the fire. By sheer luck, the flame was shooting in a vertical geyser with no wind. I shudder to think how bad the forest fire would have been had the wind shifted. I turned off the well remotely so the tech could land safely and patch up the pipeline. And that is how fire became my favorite excuse as to why a well wasn't working. Well, that and bears. Those were fun calls too.